I'm lost in darkness, searching for light. Every step forward feels like a fight. Shadows of doubt creep in my mind, but I refuse to surrender. I must find a way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. The weight of the world crushes me down. Fear and uncertainty all around. But I dig deep, find inner strength and face the trials length by length. A way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. Through every storm, I'll find my way. Through every night, a brighter day. I'll rise from ashes, like a phoenix born. My spirit unbroken, my heart reborn. I've walked through fire and emerged scarred, but wiser, stronger, and unmarred. My existence is a test of will. Day to day, nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly, but thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help, but no one hears me. One day I fear I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm certain.
Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio NXT Deadline Post-Show Rewind. It is December the 7th, 2024. I am Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster, here with Little Molly Holly, and joined by
CJ Carter here, loving the Iron Survivor concept. Glad to see that it's once again successful, and looking forward to talking about Deadline.
Yeah, hell of a PLE tonight. A lot of fun, a lot of action. But before we get into all of the goods tonight, we have to give that ever important shout out to our partner on the web. That is comicbookclick.com. comicbookclick.com/dirtsheetradio for all of your pop culture, professional wrestling, entertainment needs, all in one convenient location. Check it out. Make it your homepage. Look at it multiple times a day, just like we do. Not because we're legally obligated to do so, but because we love it. And also big shout out to Saskia Creations over on YouTube for these incredible jams that bring us into these shows each and every night that we do this. All right, CJ, are you ready to talk about tonight's event, my good sir?
Oh yeah, bro. Let's do it.
All right, so let's start with tonight's main event, and I am always happy to say that once again the women take the main event spotlight tonight in NXT, the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. We started the night. Giulia and Ren Sinclair were the first two to start the match tonight. Then, of course, joined by Sol Ruka, Saria, and Stephanie Backer in that order. Really solid match, evenly booked throughout. I was starting to worry about Ren Sinclair, who was my initial pick to win the match tonight. I'm glad that she at least walked away with one pinfall here. But when it was all said and done, Giulia getting 2 pinfall victories. Stephanie Vacker almost beating the bell to tie it up. But Giulia winning the match, taking her spot as the #1 contender for Roxanne Perez's Women's Championship. CJ, what'd you think of the match? How you feel about Giulia getting into that #1 contender ship spot? What are you thinking about this one, man?
I thought this was an awesome match. All 5 women had some incredible offense. I did also have a moment where I was worried about Ren Sinclair being pinned twice in the first 12 minutes.
Yep.
But then it kind of occurred to me that they've done this sort of thing before where, you start out really, it almost feels like cursed. And then, you make up for it in the last, however, couple minutes of the match.
Right.
I thought Ren was going to find a way to win based off that line.
I was really still pulling for her. I really was.
And as much as I would have loved to see Ren versus Roxanne, I'm also very excited to see Giulia run it back with the champ.
Absolutely. But hell of a match. It was the right match to have in the main event slot. I think they absolutely tore it up and put on a great match. Well booked. That is one criticism of the Iron Survivor matches is that they are often a tad overbooked, but which can sometimes be part of the charm. But I can see how it would irritate some people. And I felt like this one was really well done. It was done believably. Everyone was pretty evenly well matched. There was a moment there where I thought they were just going to go into the 25-minute mark with everybody having one pinfall. I thought that's where they were going there for a moment.
Well, and we don't know what would happen. Like, was it sudden death if all the competitors were tied? Like, I don't know either.
Yeah, that's what I partially wanted to know. Like, I mean, it's like the Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels Iron Man match. Going into sudden death. I want to know what happens if that is the occurrence in an Iron Survivor match. We have to get there at some point. That has to be a booked finish at some point in time, and we're this close to it tonight. I would assume some sort of sudden death, but who knows? The future may say there, but yeah, really good time there. Man, CJ, anything else on tonight's main event, or shall we hop around to the start of tonight's show?
Well, just in the sense of the Iron Survivor matches, like it's interesting that both the men and the women had at one point they were tied across the board. Does that add to the tension? I guess depending on what point in the match you are. Like the men hit the ones all across the board a lot earlier than the women did. Like, it was only in the last 90 seconds when Ren Sinclair came out of the penalty box for the women, but the men, I think it was basically with about 7 or 8 minutes left in the match.
Right. I thought it added for a lot more drama in the women's match. It really did, because as soon as Ren Sinclair hit that pinfall, that's when I thought it was going to have to go to some sort of sudden death or overtime scenario.
I think they definitely had me on the edge of my seat a lot more than the women's or than the men's match did. Not going to get, well, I mean, we're going to talk about it anyways, but I mean, once the 5th man came out, I was like, oh, okay, well, he's going to win.
Right. And and if nothing else on the main event, we will actually be talking about the Iron Survivor match, which opened up the show, which, again, I think that was kind of the right decision. And the decision you kind of had to make for some of the booking in the show, but in terms of the best storytelling, they kind of had to have this match first in order to have the best version of the storytelling in the tag title match that happened a little bit later tonight. But the men's Iron Survivor match, the first two competitors to go out were Javon Evans and Wes Lee. Then Nathan Fraser, Ethan Page, and then the mystery fifth man, as Eddie Thorpe was out, the ruler, Oba Femi, back on NXT television here tonight, coming in and just absolutely wrecking shop. And again, like CJ said, they were, all kind of tied at one pretty early on, comparatively speaking, to the women. But when it was all said and done there, Oba Femi, 3 falls, and he wins. Again, Javon Evans, a hair's breadth away from tying that up 3-on-3. And man, they made Javon Evans look like $1 million here, letting him go toe-to-toe with Oba Femi a couple times in this match. It says, we already know where Oba Femi stands, but it really says repeatedly how much faith they have in Javon Evans regarding the situations they put him in and how they present him and who they present him with.
Oh, absolutely. Like and I mean, you look back to the second episode of the newest NXT rebrand, Javon Evans taking on Randy Orton. Like, that's not an opportunity they just hand out to anybody. Yep. And I think based on this trade window, I think that's where we're going to see a lot of the bigger names and some current champions are going to wind up finding themselves on the main roster. So I think if he stays on the momentum that he has right now, he easily could be North American champion, possibly before the end of 2024. Who knows? But I think as far as Oba Femi goes, he definitely it doesn't make sense that he came in with the aura that he does. Like, I mean, I get that it's nothing you teach, it's just something that you have, but there shouldn't be any guys in NXT with the aura like Oba Femi has.
Yeah.
Like, that is a main roster guy if I've ever seen a main roster guy. And it's weird because, like, they've pushed worse guys harder, faster than they've done with Oba Femi.
Right.
And don't take that out of context, because I swear to God, if anybody clips that, anyways.
It's already happening.
Deny. My camera's not on. Anyways. So, it'll be interesting to see what the landscape of NXT looks like after Raw hits Netflix. But I'm definitely excited for what NXT in particular is going to look like.
Now, Oba winning here. Do you see Oba Femi beating Trick Williams for the NXT Championship? Is this Oba Femi's path to the title?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That's it. So this is it for Trick.
Well, for 2 reasons. One, because I do think Trick Williams is going to wind up hitting the main roster in this trade window. But 2, I think that now is the best time for Oba Femi. He still has massive fan support, and it just makes sense. All
right. But it was a dominant win, which is, obviously Oba Femi, his motif. But great match, though, overall. Everybody looked good. I think that, up until Oba Femi coming out, you could have really made a realistic argument for everyone in that match to win. And maybe save Nathan Fraser. I could really, he would have been probably, lowest man on the totem pole there on choice. But yeah, CG, he said this in the group chat, but as soon as FEMI's music hit, that was it. You knew it was winning.
Well, exactly. It's like when they.
When was the last time we saw Oba on NXT? When was the last? It had been a minute, right?
Well, when he lost the title, I think.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Or no, like he had his. He did have his rematch. But then, yeah, I guess that was it.
So are we to assume that he attacked Eddie Thorpe? Or do you think he had Nikita Lyons attack Eddie Thorpe? Because that seems to be who's doing, a lot of the attacking.
Well, sure, but I can't imagine FEMI doing or getting anyone to do his dirty work.
I know. I jest. I jest.
Although that would be a hell of a way to go, getting
that would be
Lyons.
Quite the twist. Like that would be that would actually be a surprising who tax someone reveal, unlike the whole Trick and Mello situation.
And 95% of all whodunnits in WWE history.
Yes, yeah, accurate. But great way to open the PLE tonight with this match. Before we move on to the next segment, CJ, anything else on the opening match tonight?
One thing that kind of pissed me off, and I don't know if you caught it as well, Tyler, they specifically set the precedent that the time doesn't, like the 90-second penalty, doesn't start until the competitor enters the penalty box. But Ethan Page's second penalty timer starts a full 20 seconds before Oba pulls him into the box. And I get that it's probably because they're like, oh, he needs to exit the cage in time to hit this spot. Well,
right.
Fucking time your spots better.
Agreed. Don't establish a rule if you can't actually stick to it.
Exactly.
I will say I did not catch that, but I agree and I share your irritation with that. I'm a stickler. I'm a stickler for stuff like that. If you're going to have like these nuanced rules, especially in a match like the Iron Survivor, where it's like it is a very specific set of like rules for this concept, and they're pretty unwavering in that because the match doesn't work if like any block of it doesn't function. So yeah, like I'm with you and I agree.
And another thing that I just thought of and wanted to see, do we know what happened with Nathan Fraser's nose?
No, it looked busted. He was definitely bleeding at the end of the match, but he looked all right in the tag title match later, though.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to talking about that match.
Yep. But before we can get there, which it's a little bit later in the night, after the stellar Iron Survivor opening match we had tonight, we had a Lexis King vignette that happened tonight.
Yeah. It was kind of just him talking about. I don't even know. Like all I wrote in my notes was okay. Like,
yeah, that happened.
He lost me.
Yeah, I've really been like I've said this the last few weeks. I've been on board with the kind of redirect of this character, and I've enjoyed what they've been doing with it. And I've thought that it was working, but this was not a good promo for him. And the thing is, this was pre-recorded. Like, I just kept thinking, like, that bit from The Simpsons, like, we did so many takes, and this was the best one. Like, come on. Like, when it's a pre-recorded segment like this, sorry, I'm sitting up because I'm clearly this irritated. Like, you don't have an excuse for it to be this poorly done. Like, he's been doing better live on the mic. Like, why was this so bad?
It just felt like he didn't have any focus. Like, we've seen the intent behind his character for the last month, where he's trying to turn over this new leaf, and then it still feels like he brought up his dad again, and like it still feels like he's got some bone to pick. And I'm not gonna judge if he does or doesn't, but the way he's presenting the Lexus King character still feels very flip-floppy.
Yeah. It's this like, I don't know. It almost felt like they were backsliding a little bit. Like now they're not sure if that's the way they like. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I guess maybe see Tuesday, but like it. I'm a little little less optimistic with the direction that his character's going after tonight. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But on to I think better segment here. We had NXT Underground, Lola Vice and Jada Parker going one-on-one. And I said this in the group chat, but that guy in the middle there, in an alternate reality where I made it as a independent wrestler, that's me, I think. Pretty sure. But
is the guy on the left, like, go back to the other one, the guy on the very far left, isn't that the guy from In the Heights? What's his name? Like, from Transformers? Fucking Hamilton, what's his name? I don't know.
Oh, damn. But,
did you just suggest that Lin-Manuel is here?
No, not Lin-Manuel. The guy who was,
oh, he was in Hamilton. He plays
yeah,
he plays like two people in Hamilton.
Yeah, and then in the film version In the Heights, he was the guy that Lin-Manuel Miranda played.
I didn't get to see In the Heights. I didn't skip it on purpose. I don't go out of my way to see musicals usually.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't remember his name, and now it's bugging me, and I need to look it up. Anyways, we can continue talking about Deadline in the meantime.
But Lola Vice and Jada Parker, NXT Underground. This was a blast to watch. I have enjoyed every instance of them using the stipulation in NXT. I love that, they've kind of made this Lola Vice's signature thing. And Lola continues to be undefeated in these NXT Underground matches, winning again here tonight. Okay, the brick came into play here. Still looked a little fake, but at least they made it the actual thickness of a brick. So they heard us complaining, and they augmented the brick, made it actual brick thick. But still, guys, we don't need a brick involved in this. Your feud doesn't need a brick. But Lola getting the win here. Fantastic match. CJ, what'd you think about this one, man?
Anthony Ramos is the guy's name. Just needed to put that out there, or I was going to lose my mind. The match itself, I thought, was awesome. And I agree, it's definitely become the Lola Vice signature match. I did have to kind of laugh, though, because when the people surrounding the ring were coming down the ramp, Vic Joseph said on commentary that these were members of the WWE universe that stood in line. And then Lola Vice kicked one of them in the fucking head. You're gonna stand there and tell me that this is a fan that they pulled out of the audience? No.
Hey, you know what? I almost got kicked by Tommaso Ciampa at a Ring of Honor show. So this stuff does happen from time to time.
All right, fair enough.
Although, what's way scarier is a buddy of mine, Vader, almost fell on his mom.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was like at a WCW show in like maybe like 93, 92, something like that. But like, yeah, Vader almost fell on his glove. So
That's insane. Even just recently, that episode of Raw where we like Braun, I can't remember who it was that got speared into those fans, and then literally like every single referee and official had to run and go check them out, and everyone was freaking out. And even people online were freaking out. It's like, oh my god, there's potential for a lawsuit here. It's like, it's obviously fucking fake, you idiots. But it, sometimes they pull it off well, and it's like, oh shit, maybe that guy is actually a fan.
Often, I don't know what the back of a wrestling ticket says nowadays, but like I've bought concert tickets or like tickets to like haunted attractions and stuff that flat out say on the ticket that like by purchasing the ticket you waive your right to sue in the event of accidental injury or like whatever.
Or if you subscribe to Disney Plus.
Exactly, especially.
That's such a crazy thing. Like, how does that work legally? Like, by being on Dershi Radio, you guys have agreed to show me your buttholes. This is weird, and I don't know why I wrote that in, but it's legally binding. Unfortunately,
it reminds me of the South Park episode, the human centipede episode, where like by agreeing to the Apple terms and conditions, like you agree to like go into a human centipede-esque experiment.
That's exactly what I mean. This is insane. That's a slippery slope.
You're like, who doesn't read the terms and conditions? Who just agrees blindly? Like,
I mean, literally. Everyone in their
everyone in the history of forever.
Yeah.
Like, goodness.
So, the other thing that I wanted to talk about with this match was the last NXT Underground match that we had was at Spring Breakin', I believe. Lola Vice versus Shayna Baszler. And I remember asking you then, because it was only about a month and a half since the other most recent underground match that Lola Vice had. And I asked you then, are we in danger of this match being overused? So here we are now, and the third match of the year, also the third match that Lola Vice had, at least the last one was 6 months between, not a month and a half. But are we still in danger of this match being overused?
If it had been another month and a half and we had done it, I would have said yes. But I think the amount of time that they had between them, I think it was a safe amount of time. And I think the association with it being kind of a blow-off match specifically used by Lola, I think kind of helps pad that a little bit. But I don't think we're in danger of it. I think that this was an appropriate use. I think they waited long enough. And the fact that they so heavily were pushing that tonight's the last PLE of the calendar year. Like, they were trying to, they were trying to make Deadline a little bit of a bigger deal, and I think that helped it too. But no, I think personally, I feel we're safe on it being overused.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, just wanted to throw that out there, and because I know we talked about it before.
Now, if they'd actually done it on NXT Television Tuesday, like Jada wanted it to be, then I'd have been like, yes, it's being overused because it's just on it. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's special enough still.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, this was, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the first PLE as opposed to regular episode of NXT or special episode of NXT that the Underground has been on.
I think so. Neither of the men's was the one with Dijak, wasn't it?
No, Battleground.
The one was the Battleground. Okay.
I think that was no. What was Spring Breakin' or Battleground?
Oh my gosh. So many
Anyways.
things. Yeah. So many events happened. But yeah, though, loved the match, though. Lola Vice and Jada Parker have really good chemistry together. I think they both really get in there and aren't afraid to, like, lay in those hits. But yeah, and they had, Jada, go to sleep. So, she's even a little protected in that she didn't technically tap. So,
although
good,
they did say it resulted of submission.
Oh, did they? Oh, I thought
Yeah.
she was out. I thought but the referee called it, though. Because when the match stopped, I think Vic Joseph said that it was like referee stoppage, but you're right, they did announce it as submission.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it should have been a technical knockout.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe they'll correct it.
Yeah. Because I kind of prefer that they do it that way, because like they really have repeatedly established just how bloody tough Jada Parker is. And I think that's a big part of her character. And I say this week in and week out, Jada Parker's the real deal. Jada Parker is going to be a main event player in professional wrestling for decades.
I agree.
I say it, but moving on from there, we had a quick video recap with the whole everything that happened with Rich Holland and Chase U, and this was also the where they had the little the bit with Andre shutting down everything and pulling everything out of his classroom. They played this a couple weeks ago in NXT as well, and then someone saying, "Hey, Mr. Chase," and him turning around, and then that being that. So clearly something planned for Andre still in the future.
You think as early as this Tuesday?
I would hope so. I've been sad, I've been very sad without any representation of an institution of higher learning on NXT. But but after that, we popped to the backstage where we had Nathan Fraser and Axiom, and Nathan Fraser was all kinds of beat up. He was taped up around the ribs, dried blood still on his face, but he was ready to roll out there again. And Axiom was telling him, he'll do the heavy lifting here tonight. He'll do the heavy lifting. Don't worry, they're still the greatest tag team in the world. And before the tag team title match, we had a recap video just kind of catching everything up on the state of the tag team division in NXT and how the no quarter catch crew, Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights, became number one contenders. And then we had the NXT Championships, tag team championships on the line. Fraxium defending against the no quarter catch crew. And fantastic match. Just, blink and you miss it action. Fantastic storytelling in the ring. The audience chanting RKO at Miles Bourne repeatedly. And I
missed that completely. That's
oh my god. Yeah, they were chanting RKO at his ass.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jeez.
If
he pops the pose just once,
it's going to bring the house down. But I think, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking just for myself, but excuse me, I thought, surprisingly, Nathan Fraser and Axiom retained the tag team championships here tonight. I thought for sure they were losing here this evening. I really did, but no, the no quarter catch crew could not get it done against basically 1.5 men. And Fraxium walks away the winners and still together as a team. I'm shocked.
I was also very surprised. I thought that the inclusion of Nathan Fraser in the Iron Survivor match, not only that, but putting it first was going to be the reason for Nathan Fraser not being able to pull his weight in the match, and that's what leads to both the titles going elsewhere, and then a third tag team this week being broken up.
Right.
But yeah, we're not broken up, but altered. Anyways, but yeah, it was a fantastic match, and I definitely thought that it was gonna be Nathan Fraser standing on the sidelines for most of the match. Like, he looked really beat up, but not only did he pull his weight, he other than looking like he just got hit by a car, like
a car named FEMI.
Oh yeah, but like he still looked good in the match. He was decent offense.
And doing it in a way that he was still selling the effects of the Iron Survivor match. He did a very good job holding the kayfabe of that. I thought he was great here.
Oh yeah.
And as much as I really wanted the No Quarter Catch crew to get the titles here tonight, I again can't complain. I love Fraxium as a team, and as much as I want to see them wrestle each other, I like what they've been doing as a team. They're the exception to the rule of me not liking teams that are just like hastily thrown together, as they were for the Dusty Classic. But they work, and they continue to work. But like, I really, really thought this was it for them tonight. And here we are.
So this story that they're telling about, Nathan Fraser kind of seeking singles glory while being tag team champion, is that a story that still feels like it's progressing naturally, like it hasn't run its course? Are you still on that hook?
Well, here's the thing. I could see Nathan maybe being a little more apologetic about it, but like, they're still the tag champions. But it can also kind of lead into a perspective of, Axiom, just being like, I'm this team. I did this basically on my own. You had the, crap knocked out of you in that match by Obafemi and everybody else. We still won in large part and primarily because of me. So, like, that could, like, still kind of lead to their division, but I don't really know now. Like, again, I'm kind of confused as to what they're doing with them. This leads into the constant, are they, aren't they, will they, won't they, with Axiom and Nathan Fraser.
Well, and how long did they dangle that carrot with us with Kofi and Xavier on Raw? How long have they been dangling that carrot now with Fraxium? It feels like it's still, for me anyways, it still feels fresh. Like, nothing feels stale. Mm-hmm. Like, it feels like everything is still on pace for the story that they're telling.
Right.
Granted, again, I did think that we were going to head to the next phase tonight, but I don't think that it's not moving too fast, or it's not moving too slow. Like, it still feels like it's.
No, I trust in the process. They, tell pretty compelling, long-term stories down there on NXT. So, I trust that they've got a plan here and they know what they're doing. I trust in HBK. I really do. But yeah, anything else on the tag title match tonight?
No, just great match.
Yeah. All right. After that, we had a recap video package for the situation between Trick Williams and Ridge Holland. We then had, for the NXT Championship, Trick Williams and Ridge Holland And this wasn't. This wasn't the best match of the night. The right guy won. Trick Williams retains the NXT Championship. This match had what was without question the dumbest thing Booker T said on commentary tonight. There was a spot, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. This is Booker T's dumb comment. Oh yeah, man. There was a spot in the match tonight where Trick went over the ropes, got his head caught in the ropes. And Booker T was like, I saw this happen to Mick Foley in Germany. I saw his ear ripped right off the socket. Your ear does not have a socket, Book. It's an ear.
I get the reference he's trying to make, because it.
No, do not defend him, CJ.
No, because. Correct me if I'm wrong. The other man in that match was Vader.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vader.
He is right.
The eye popping out of his socket. I wonder if he's just making that connection, and in the moment on live commentary, he makes that flip.
I don't know. This sounds like some Booker T apologist behavior. I'm just saying.
Oh, how dare you? How?
Shuck it, quack, quack.
Look, when I saw this Legends and Future, whatever LFG stands for, I can't even remember. They announced that Booker T was one of the judges, and I'm like, hopefully that takes him, like, oh, now I'm too busy to do NXT, so I'm gonna drop commentary and focus on this reality show. I'm hoping and I'm praying, but we'll see what happens.
Nah, I think they like Booker T. I think the younger demographic likes Booker on commentary, man. I'm telling you. I know for a fact I have heard teens in this house say they like Booker.
And I mean, I will say something nice about Booker T on commentary. Like, he's very energetic, and he's good at getting he did help get Trick over.
He did, but here's the thing. Like, the thing is, like, he like really did help get a face in Trick Williams over, but he also like is very pro like nasty heel tactics too. You know what I mean? So like it is a little. You kind of need to pick a side, because then after a point you almost become an unreliable narrator, man. Because it's just like.
But I mean, so much of what he actually says on commentary just doesn't feel like it's of substance that actually helps, hype up this match. Like,
right.
You're there to sell the match that's going on, and Booker's just rambling half the time.
Yeah, that's true. Really, I've always thought Booker's best role is on like the pre-show like roundtable things. He's really good at that, and and it's because like they're so inconsequential. You know what I mean? And like he can kind of say whatever he wants, and it does not matter because it's a pre-show. People will be like, "Yep, that's Book. Like that's his opinion." There we go, shucky ducky.
But I think it gives him a lot of an opportunity to just speak his mind in a measured way, as opposed to, like heat of the moment. Oh, okay, I'm gonna say this buzzword, and I'm gonna shucky this, and then I'm gonna, oh yeah, man, that. And I think that's why I like those roundtable discussion segments he does more than commentary. SmackDown commentary, awesome. But NXT commentary, not as much.
Well, and even like book and like long form interviews and telling stories and stuff. He's very entertaining and very fun to listen to in those.
Okay, I'll have to.
Yeah, like anytime like on any of those I think he was on a couple of those dinner for three things they did and just in interviews telling stories he is entertaining. And I don't know if he's written a book or not, but if he hasn't, he should, because I think he's got a pretty interesting life story on that too. But I know we give Booker a hard time, but Booker T was an incredibly talented wrestler, and he's good at what he does. Just sometimes that how you were there live, man? Heck yeah. Yeah, that tag title match was fantastic match. But much better than the.
Please stop. Let's stop shitting on Booker T.
Yeah. But Rich Holland, Trick Williams. The crowd was chanting "This is awesome" during that match, and I'm not sure why.
What do you mean?
This was not this was not Trick's best title match, and I blame Ridge. I didn't think it delivered the way it needed to for the amount of build that it had for it. They had so much steam behind Ridge here, and I'm fine with him losing. I think Trick needed to keep the title, but I don't know. It just didn't. Something about it didn't click for me. I put my finger on it, but I'm going to blame Ridge.
For me, I think it was because the neck getting caught in the ropes, that spot just didn't really mesh well with the match at that point. And it didn't really do anything to make Ridge Holland look good.
No.
It had really nothing to do with him, and he got to benefit from a guy with a neck injury hurting his neck of his own accord, essentially.
Yeah. Not that Trick would have needed this kind of distraction assistance or anything, but I would have almost preferred if Ridge's loss came at some sort of distraction finish from Andre Chase. I don't know. There was just something that then again, there's a reason this wasn't the main event. There's probably several reasons this wasn't the main event. But I don't know. I'm glad it wasn't the main event.
Well, and I think because Deadline really kind of revolves around the Iron Survivor matches, it makes sense that one of those matches would be the main event. I was definitely surprised, again, because with Nathan Fraser having two matches, I thought the tag match was going to be earlier in the night. So I was anticipating that the men's Iron Survivor match would be the main event. And that tag team match would be first or second.
Right.
But no, it was... Oh, the other thing that I loved about the NXT title match, did you hear the random Chase U chant that broke out?
I missed that.
There was just a handful of random fans that did the "Give me a C, give me," and they spelled out the whole Chase U thing.
I'm telling you, people, they're going to do something more with Andre Chase in some sort of revival of Chase U. The people want it. It's not just me. I swear it's not just me.
100%. Yeah, it feels like they don't have to. Well, and the thing with Chase U, I'm anticipating it's they're just not Chase U affiliated, but they're still together.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be the Mr. Chase thing that they're teasing.
Yeah, I need more Andre Chase in my life. It's been a rough couple of weeks. I have so many reasons to dislike Ridge Holland, and that is so high on my list of reasons. But after the main event, we had an unseen interviewer catching up with Ethan Page and him being very upset about his loss tonight, and saying that after 18 years he got to the top, and now he's not sure if he knows how to get back there again. And he walked off sad and sullen. And that led directly into Sarah Schreiber backstage with Ava, saying that was interesting word from Ethan Page. And they were quickly approached by Tiffany Stratton during this segment. And Tiffany, hinted, that she might be around. Yeah, I guess, way to get a main roster face on TV here. Got a good pop, though, did Tiffy time.
Well, this was still in her home state, so... This was her hometown, I think.
That's right, yeah. She is from the Minneapolis.
Yes. Whereas when they were on SmackDown last night, it was... I can't remember, but it was still within the state. But anyways, I don't know if they did announce her for another NXT appearance, didn't they? Or am I just imagining that?
I think she's going to be at the oh goodness gracious, the one that's going to be on the road. I cannot remember what city that's going to be in. I think they announced her for that, which makes sense.
Not this coming Tuesday, but like probably one or two after.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if we had a picture that had that on it or not. I'm trying to remember what town that was in. Yeah, it's one or two after, which makes sense. They usually try to have a main roster name or two attached to those on the road shows to help bolster ticket sales. Mm-hmm. Which hopefully that goes well, because we've talked about this before, that them being on the road and going on the road isn't a bad idea. Lowell, Massachusetts.
What was the date for that?
December 17th.
Oh, okay, yeah. So not this Tuesday, but the following.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they will be back on the road, which I enjoy the on the road shows. Because I like getting a litmus test for who's more over than you think they are and who is slightly less over than you think they might be, based off of just the reaction from the performance center and nothing else.
Well, and that was the thing. Like, how do you actually justify keeping them there after you see like Carter and Chance getting the reaction that they get in NXT not translate to the reaction that they get when they're on Raw? That being one of a lot of examples. And even if you think Tony D'Angelo is ready for the main roster, which he is, his character may not survive.
Right.
Because you don't test that well enough outside the NXT bubble.
Yep, exactly. And that's why, why these, on the road shows, at least, I'd preferably twice a month, but at least once a month be on the road, not just for the PLEs. Like, that's all fine and well, but like, they're always going to get reasonable, good reactions and, ticket sales to their PLEs. It is what it is on that. but like at least once a month, they need to have a weekly NXT on the road, just to really help understand where everyone's at. But yeah, that takes us back up to the main event. CJ, before we hop into our jobbers and megastars of the night, was there anything else about tonight's premium live event that you'd like to discuss that we didn't touch on?
We did. I don't know if we missed it. Javon Evans was interviewed backstage, and
We did.
got interviewed by Lee.
Yes, yeah, we did miss that.
Okay, yeah, and they ended up brawling, so that seems to be the next feud for both of them.
Which is again good for Javon, because I kind of imagine he's gonna win that program overall.
You think so?
I do, because I don't think it's gonna hurt Wes.
True.
And I feel like Javon, unless they're just gonna keep kind of having him get that close and just not quite do it yet, and that's gonna be part of his character development, is that he's always gets right on the cusp of that big win, but can't quite get over that plateau.
I don't know if this is another long-term storytelling thing, but if they did decide to put them together as a team, that might be a good test to see how well Javon works as a heel, if they can find a way to have Wes turn Javon.
Okay, I could get down with that.
Because, I even thought about it during his match. They put so much, effort into his character, this aloof sort of carefree guy, and the fans just latch onto that. One, how are they going to react when he goes heel? And two,
Right.
Is he even going to be able to portray a credible heel? We'll have to find out. But
Yeah.
I think pairing him with Wes Lee, who is another guy that at one point I questioned because of the amount of support that he has, can he actually be heel?
And
We
his size.
don't know.
I think his size is something that works against, functionally being a heel as well.
Mhm.
And he's, and we talked about that with Roxanne Perez as well, but and I think that Wes so far has he's that his size has not been an issue in that.
No, but I'd say it's more his offense style that is just so easy to cheer for. That high flying acrobatic offense. You really just, you're in awe. And that's what is oh yeah, we gotta celebrate that, because that takes real skill.
Right. Yeah, and I think Wes has been able to kind of overcome that. He's been able to kind of stop a lot of the flashier moves, which one upsets the crowd, because then you're denying them something they want to see. But I do think that would be a much bigger hurdle for Javon to overcome. Because you know what I mean, because a lot of his style and charisma is tied into those high spots, and you're going to want to cheer for those. So it'd be interesting to see how they would make Javon work as a heel and still work his style.
And I thought the same thing about the New Day. How do you turn the New Day heel? Well, we found out. So if they do find a way to have Javon Evans be a credible heel, I think that being that versatile will work well for him in the long run.
Agreed.
Also, it just occurred to me. I said earlier, that takes real skill. I don't know if that was accidentally implying that acrobatic offense takes real skill and other wrestling styles don't. I don't fucking know. I'm not a wrestler. I'm just a guy with a set of headphones and a broadcasting degree. Don't at me.
Carter, okay? Don't at DJ Carter 22 on any social media platform.
You know, it's actually just the one, and I hardly even use Twitter anymore.
Yeah, I use it for pictures for memes at this point, but that is NXT Deadline 2024 in a nutshell. I think it's time to talk about our jobbers of the night for this evening. CJ, I batted this back and forth a little bit in my head and then finally settled on one person. I thought about giving it to a tag team for kayfabe reasons, but no, I settled on Lexis King because holy hell, that promo was bad.
That is fair. It was weird and it just didn't feel natural. You know, natural for the Lexis King that we've seen recently.
That promo felt as natural as his beard looks.
I know Tyler said this already, but it's just crazy to me how this is a pre-taped promo with post-production and music and shit. And they still it looks like putting frosting and sprinkles on shit. It's incredible. That's great.
Like looks AI generated.
There's no excuse for it to have been this bad. No, you make him walk back down the block and say, fucking do it again, Lexis. We will. How many hours do we have till sunrise? Because that's how long we have to do this. Do it again. Do a
Why
line
are
of
we
friggin'
doing
coke
it at
and do
night
it again.
anyways? Just
Well,
because
it's
the
for dramatic
promo
effect.
says it's at night, we'll just do it in the day. We'll change the script.
We'll use that blue filter from all of the mid-2000s horror movies to make it look like evening. But yeah, I almost gave it to No Quarter Catch Crew for not being able to beat a man and a half. But like, no, I'm saying Lexis King because this promo was so just terrible. And because, like I said, like I was so into this redemption story and what they were doing with the character, and this has just derailed it.
That's genuinely fair.
Also, I can't say Carmen Petrovic for being into Ashante the Adonis still because they were on the show. So.
And that it feels petty at that point.
It does. It does.
You know, it's like the kind of petty that leads to a particular superstar being the namesake jobber of the night. You know, like who would do such a thing? No, certainly not anybody on this rewind. Anyways, my jobber of the night, I'm gonna go with Eddie Thorpe.
Poor Eddie.
No, he's really had a rough go of it lately, and to end up being the guy that gets taken out, and his replacement goes on to win the match.
He's gonna be so mad Tuesday. He's gonna be so mad.
Oh, he's gonna grab Ava's wrist again.
Eddie Thorpe versus HBK imminent.
You know what? If that's what this is all leading to, sure, why not?
No, absolutely not.
At this point, why not?
Oh man, no.
What could go wrong?
A lot could go wrong. Oh, jeez, Louise. No, that's fair. It's been a rough go and a horrible string of luck for DJ Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You and I both know I'm a big Eddie Thorpe fan, and I, just want to see him succeed. I thought he would have been North American champion quite a while ago, and I'm surprised that they still haven't done anything of substance with him. And
I thought after that underground match with him and Dijak, like I thought after that, like he was just going to get a rocket strap to him.
Well, fuck, I thought that after the first underground match against what's his name? The other no quarter catch crew guy that got fired. That's not Giulia. Damon Kemp.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, that no quarter catch crew just like churning people right out of the fucking company.
Well, fuck. What wasn't Damon Kemp the one that they allegedly killed, or was that Gulak, or was it both?
No, Kemp. Yeah, no, Kemp is. Shoot, you know what? I think it might have been both. Or no. So one of them was taken out by the family because that was the whole like, and then the no quarter catch crew didn't want to pay for it, and so then I think the Kemp would have been the no quarter catch crew doing it themselves because that was Ren Sinclair caught them getting rid of Kemp, and that's how she got into the crew. So that is the tangled web.
So either way,
people are dead. Either way,
they're dead. Yeah.
What murder? No.
I mean, we talk about how dangerous the Performance Center parking lot is on a regular basis, but we've seen, like murder on NXT television. God forbid, anybody at the CW, looks that far back.
Let's hope not. I mean, it could be bad news for them. I mean, but the CW's had some pretty dramatic shows with like a lot of death on them. I mean, that's not something they're unfamiliar with.
I guess as long as you don't pull out a giant pile of cocaine, you're okay.
Exactly. That's the only thing that will get you kicked from the C-Dub real fast. But from the jobbers of the night, we will be now talking about the Deadline NXT megastar of the night. CJ, who do you have as your megastar for tonight, sir?
I don't care that he didn't win the Iron Survivor match. I gotta give the megastar to Nathan Fraser. The fact that he pulled double duty and genuinely shone, like he went all out in both matches, and look at him, like he was so banged up heading into his second match of the night, and still managed to pull his weight enough in that match to at least viably put out some offense. So that's megastar material in my eyes for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely fantastic choice in Nathan Fraser. But this evening, it took me a minute to kind of bat it around, but I settled on Giulia tonight. Winning her Iron Survivor match, being the number one contender. Really looking forward to her match with Roxanne Perez. I'm wondering if this is the one where they're going to pull the trigger and have her pick up the championship from Roxy there. But I thought she just looked like $1 million here tonight. And, they still have so many moving pieces and so many directions they can go with all of the women that are at the top of the NXT card right now. And just, having, Stephanie Vacker just be seconds away from tying that up just keeps such a, hot fire between the two of them lit as well. But it's just, it's amazing. We say it almost every single week. Actually, you know what? It's not we say it almost every single week. We say it every single week. But the NXT women's division is it's the best, and it's just absolutely fantastic week in and week out. One of these days they're going to have that full women's PLE again. It's going to happen. Damn it, I'm saying it. But so Giulia was that. My honorable mention, I will say Javon Evans. it was this close to me picking Javon tonight. Even in loss, I thought they had him look so good tonight. And it just speaks volumes about the amount of faith they have in him. And again, much like Stephanie McMahon, just being so close to getting that tie to happen right before the buzzer on the 25-minute mark. But yeah, fantastic night of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, those buzzer beater moments, whether it's an Iron Survivor match like this or just a regular Iron Man match, really anything with a timer. Like, I was watching the WWE YouTube channel just posted Jeff Hardy's first WWE Championship win, like the playlist for that. And at one point there was a beat the clock match stipulation with Triple H, and they both tied. Like, they got the exact same time. And I just remember that. Well, I saw that back and was like, they kind of botched that a little bit. Like, the referee was like too early and was like, okay, I'm ready to, or like, anyways.
Stuff with a timer is hard to do.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, I'm, again, not a wrestler. I don't try and disparage anybody in the industry. I just sit at my computer and
we chat about
talk
it.
shit.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually.
When I tried to wrestle, I tore my Achilles tendon. So that'll tell you everything you need to know. So
Yikes.
yeah, I was 14. So I learned a long time ago that it was not meant to be for me.
That's fair.
But yeah, that's the deadline, guys, tonight. Pretty solid show. A lot of fun. And you know, if you had a good time watching tonight, I've got fantastic news. We're not just here Saturdays to cover fun PLEs like NXT Deadline. We're here pretty much every night of the week, y'all. Pro wrestling never stops, and Dirt Sheet Radio is always on. We're here Monday nights for Raw. We are here Tuesday nights for NXT. Wednesday nights, you know what that means? That's Dynamite. Thursday nights are for TNA Impact. And of course, Fridays are SmackDown. And hey, if you're up really late on Wednesday, I'm out of order. If you're up really late on Wednesday nights, check out the Dirt Sheet Radio flagship show every week, live late into the night. Or if you're like me, just check it out early in the morning on Thursdays. We'll be there with your coffee and your commute. On Sundays, CJ and I are getting our stuff together. I promise we really are. We're bringing you a weekend wrestling roundup in the near future, guys. It will happen. I promise you. And CJ and I, we keep our promises. He's Canadian. Canadians keep their promises, guys. Okay? That's the truth. Yep. But occurring Sundays on the regular, 3NT with the Christmas graphic and all of the NWPs. Be sure to check them out every single Sunday. CJ, where can the good folks find you when they want to find you?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to get back more consistently doing Tuesdays, recapping NXT with you. I try and get on the odd Monday night for the Raw Rewind, the odd Friday night for the SmackDown Rewind, the odd PLE whenever it happens, or pay-per-view, whatever your flavor. But otherwise, I'm just kind of floating around. If I'm here, I'm here.
All right. Well, and hey, you know, I'm here obviously for NXT on Tuesday nights. Usually me and CJ. I'm here Monday nights for Raw with Caesar and John on there, and always with little Molly Holly here. And PLEs when I can. And at PW Hipster, guys. I'm not on Twitter and IG a lot, but the Pro Wrestling Hipster over on Facebook. Give me a follow after you follow Dirt Sheet Radio on all social media platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in live tonight, guys. We'll see ya very soon live again. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.